Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to a new episode of The Art of Affiliate Management. Actually, this time it's a little bit more for affiliates. And, AI is taking over and everybody has like an opinion and some theoretical stuff, but content that is really targeted to our industry and that gives real life examples, hands on examples, how you can implement AI and make your work easier as an affiliate is very rare. And we have the luck that our homie Edge,
Uh,
that is coming
Thank you.
from Agentic Norway and from Afflyfe, is joining us in this podcast to explain a little bit how he is doing it, how it helps him in his work. And also, if you are not a programmer like Edge and you have an affiliate program or network and you want to automatize stuff, then I recommend you to have a look on CatStats, our presenting sponsor of this episode, to let AI take over a lot of grunt work. Our sponsor CatStats got a massive makeover. So if you run an affiliate network and you want to save 50% of the time of your managers and find opportunities, this is for you. In just one dashboard, you can see how your entire network performs, where are the risks and where are the opportunities. Of course, you can see what type of offers and affiliates are performing, which ones are dropping, and of course the hidden champions. Additionally, there is an integrated fraud detection system that is spotting different parameters than your usual fraud tools and gives you an extra layer of security. The offer recommendation system also got an update. The algo defines which offers are the most fitting ones for each individual affiliates, and you can let CatStats send out these recommendations, including the tracking links to the affiliates. And of course, you also have the possibility to just export this knowledge and handle these top affiliates yourself. Additionally, there is a total new feature now in CatStats, that is the AI Affiliate Manager. You can speak with this tool like with a colleague that is replacing your entire back office. You can chat network-wide what's up, and you get informations and details about affiliates, offers, advertisers, and even recommendations how to improve your network. So try CatStats AI for free for 2 weeks. Peace out. But that's enough with the introduction. Edge, thank you for joining here today and
My
sharing some
pleasure.
knowledge.
My pleasure. Thank you, Stefan, to invite me. As you mentioned, AI is taking over. So it's not a choice anymore. It's a must. It's something that we have to incorporate into our even daily and also our job to become smarter, become more effective, and be able to actually do things in another level. I mean, you and I have been in industry for quite a while, and one of the things that gave me edge to start with was that I was a programmer, right? And as you remember, like I was able to do things 10 times faster than anybody else. Now with
You said that gave you an edge. That's where the name edge is coming
yeah,
from?
no.
I don't know.
Actually, the name Age came from some one of friend of mine just started calling me for Age, and then it just took off from there.
Okay, not something to
Yeah,
share here. We all have our past.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so by time went off, that advantage kind of went away because why? Because now everybody can kind of create whatever they want using AI. So programming in the sense of me being able to build just went kind of away, right? Like everyone
And
now
there are a lot
can,
of SaaS solutions for everything
of
you can
course, you
imagine. That makes
just
it even
prompting,
easier.
right? Just prompting and you are done. So now the advantage that you and I spoke about a bit as well is just taking the AI and we are moving more towards agentic AI. If you allow me, I would like to share
Yes.
my screen with
It's the
you.
first time in, I think, like 40, 50 things that we recorded that somebody prepared something. Bravo.
I am I am I usually overdo things. I like to be prepared though. So I'm going to go through this. I hope that it's not too technical. I try to just not make it too technical because my fellow affiliates, this is how I believe that we're able to take the level that we are at from here to here immediately. So Agentic AI in affiliate marketing, right?
Maybe as a quick introduction, what means agentic, for what it stands?
Agentic is essentially so everything that we do now, even like when you are checking the reports, when you are reading data, when you are creating a campaign, everything that you do is actually you are a kind of an agent, right? So the reason I mention it is because an agent, which becomes your worker, your right hand guy, is just a helper, and it's not replacing the judgment. Is just a mechanical loop where you just give it some tasks, right? And then it goes ahead and does it for you. That's like an agent. So we are using like me as a CEO, I have affiliate manager and I have a biz dev, right? These are my agents. So me as the head of the company of Afflyfe, passing along my requirements, my ideas, right? So these are my agents. So think of it that way, then you understand what is agentic AI is. The reason we
So
say A,
practically to integrate this real workers in AI and not just ask AI,
yeah,
hey, where is the best restaurant in
yeah,
Rome for pizza?
yeah. Because we are just when we do, I mean, of course we can do that, but honestly, in our line of work, the power of the AI is not asking where the restaurant is, but going a whole another level and give us freedom. That's like, like before vehicle came, we used horses and we used donkeys, right? And from city to city we
I live
used
in a rural area of Romania. I can tell you, we still do that.
You still do that. Then I think AI comes in a few years in there.
The
So
robotic horses.
yeah. So when the vehicle came, it just made the thing so faster. You know what I mean? So from point A to B, it took a day before it now, or when a vehicle came, it took few hours or few minutes. And that's where I'm trying to do, or where I'm trying to go. So as we do now, most of us or most of the affiliates are, checking 5 dashboards every morning, pulling data, comparing everything, and deciding what to change. And we are kind of reacting to the problem in a late, like 24 to 48 hours after it actually starts. So and often what I see is that we are making decisions based on incomplete data, because being able to actually analyze data, fully analyze data and going deep to the data, it actually takes too long. And also not everybody that can do that. And we are repeating the same circle, the same process every single day, right? So the data actually shows that we are using literally 12 hours per week just on reporting, just to read the reports. And when we are doing A/B testing, when we know how important A/B testing is, we are not able to do so many A/B testings. We are just doing three, five, whatever, right? So and we can't scale it to the moment that we want. And most of our, or actually 78% of the optimizations are reactive, which means that something happens, then we start optimizing, right? We don't optimize for the better result. We just start optimizing. Oh, it didn't work. Let me optimize it now, right? And so it just makes it so that we are reacting to things very, very late as it goes. As we spoke, this is like this is what we do now. So if you are taking ChatGPT now, as you mentioned, just talking to it um, for the restaurants, right? We are actually, a lot of people also using it for the daily stuff, right? So what we do now, we are asking AI something, we are asking ChatGPT something, and it goes and it answers us back, right? So it produces a outcome based on the question that you're asking. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily have a memory of what happened, and it requires that you do the most of the thinking and most of the sequencing and acting. So it gives you the answer, and you need to analyze that answer, come with the input, and try to talk to it more, right? So if I take a CSV file, I can export a CSV file from my tracker, right? And I just put it into ChatGPT, and I tell it which of these sources are performing good. It's
But
gonna
this is
read
the
the
old way. Practically, you export the
yes,
CSV and
this
you
is the
upload it.
old way. Yes.
Hmm?
So this is the old way. Then it gives me an output, and now I need to again try to chat with it and then try to understand it more. So it doesn't on itself goes and try to do what I want. I need to be the one that actually need to chat with it.
And this agentic AI, these tools that you are using there,
Yeah.
where you get them from? You buy, you rent
No.
the software, you build it yourself, you host it yourself, and you train
Um,
an AI to do it, and then you connect per API to all the different parties that you need.
so ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever you're using is actually a agent itself. It's just you can't give it a task. Okay. So when we are connecting, when I create agents to do my work, I use still I'm using ChatGPT as a model, as a LLM model, right? Large language model, but I'm using it in a different environment where I can put it into a repetitive task. So essentially, I'm giving it a goal, I'm giving it a plan, and I have the tools so that I can run it. And then it goes and it does the same thing again and again and again. And that's where agentic comes from. It doesn't, it doesn't need me. I mean, I'm coming to it afterwards because the autonomy is quite different. We have four different levels, but we can use so many different tools out there now that they actually outsource and open source them. And we can use Crew AI, Paperclip, Multica. We can use Claude Code even. Claude Code have on a desktop model they have this um, uh, scheduling and all these things. So we are it's as you need to know how to build it. So that's why like a program such as CatStack, right? Yeah, CatStack is a really good program because as much as it's agentic is a good thing, but it's also you need to have knowledge to understand how to actually add these things, right? So the
And
tools are available.
you practically have to run a own machine, a own server where you are uploading all these things and you put it all together, or
You
how?
can, yeah, you can use services such as, let's say, Open Router, and then you just connect to their APIs, and you just connect to you have access to different models, right? And it's pay as you go. Or if you have a computer that actually good system, then you can download them on your machine. And it was a really good question that you mentioned. Just because I have a computer, right? It doesn't mean that I should actually use local models, because oftentimes um, the local models that are for the devices that are not so strong, they are not that smart either. So the output that you are getting is going to be different. So the output that I'm getting from a Claude Opus 4.7 and the output that I'm getting from a cheap, very old model is completely different. It's going to be day and night, honestly,
Mm.
because the understanding that the model has is going to be different, and also different models are built for different things. But it becomes so technical. So that's why I say like it's um, we need to acquire this knowledge, but also we need to acquire understanding of how
Do
things
you need
work.
to be a programmer to do that, or is it enough to be tech savvy, what most of the affiliates
Yeah,
are?
tech savvy. Yeah.
to make that. So when you sit down for like, I would not say like for an afternoon, but let's say you are sitting down and you invest a few days,
Yeah.
you can do that if you know how the internet functions. Let's say it like this.
Um, I come to it afterwards, but it depends on which level you want to go.
Hmm.
And that's why earlier I spoke about we have four different levels actually of these agents working. Right now, I mean, we have the manual, which is like I do everything, right? So I read the data, I read the dashboard. This is like the old way, okay? This
Hmm.
is pre-AI, okay? And then we have the Copilot. Where's the chat ones? Like I upload the CSV file and um, it gives me the output. I ask it a question, it gives me output. So it's a back and forth between me and the LLM model, right? Then comes the fun stuff, which is the semi-auto and the autonomous. And that's exactly the thing that I'm saying. Like you can't just sit like for the weekend and say, now I can create agents because you have to understand things. So with the semi-auto, how it works is that you are creating an agent, but you still on the main character. So I'm teaching, I'm giving um, the thoughts and how it should actually work and how I want it to act. What is the thing that I needed to check? But at the end of the day, I'm the one deciding if that is going to happen. So, as an example, let's say that um, I create an agent where it goes and checks creatives, right? So it checks the creatives on all my campaigns that I have. And I want to see which one of them are actually getting fatigue, which one of these creative are getting fatigue. A semi autonomous reads the data and come back to me and say, this creative here is fatigue. We are seeing decrease on CR, I'm seeing decrease on CTR, so on and so on, right? So, and it needs me to give it the next order to say, okay, so now I need to do B, right?
But this is now already all connected per API. So you
You
have your
can do that.
tracker,
Yeah,
you
yeah, of
have your
course.
traffic source,
Yes,
everything per API, and this is
yes.
running then either local or it's running on like a
Yeah,
hosted
on a
server.
machine.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. And that's what's the beauty of it because most of these traffic sources that me as an affiliate I'm running, they have API. Exo have API. The Afflyfe have API. We all have API, which means because of that API, I'm able to do certain actions, right? But then we come to the fully autonomous, which means that take that creative example then it talks to different agents, which I'm going to show you afterwards in the next slide. It finds the creative with the fatigue, and on itself, it goes and creates a creative and it uploads it to the campaign. So, which becomes my fully autonomous agent, right? But again, just because it sounds good, it doesn't mean we should. This is what I always say to people, like
yeah,
like when they say, "Oh my God, I should do that," I say, "Because it sounds good, it doesn't mean you should. You should have
because
waited."
you need a lot of data until you can
Yes.
trust the autonomy.
Exactly. So the autonomous part that I explained to you works like this, right? So we have an orchestration, and then all these guys are different agents. So I set the main orchestrator, the main operator, right? And then under this operator, I have different agents. I have different people that are doing different things. So I'm just talking to my operator, which is this guy over here, okay? Then I'm telling it to, let's as an example, I have this offer. I want you to create this campaign on Exo, create four different creatives for it, and put it in a loop to optimize. Then the operator understand the task and start delegating to under agents. And They go and do it, and then the report comes up. So um, and that's like the autonomous that's the autonomy part, right? Which we are giving everything to the to the agent. So I say like you can decide everything that you want. But again, just because we can, we shouldn't, right? So we have all this beautiful stuff, right? We are able to actually create and orchestrate. That's why I say like orchestrate.
One question, let's, for
Yeah.
example, speak about the source optimization.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to define the EPC
Yeah.
after a certain amount of traffic, and most probably, depending on the offer and the geo, you have like different values. Where are you configuring all of that? You build for all your agents something like a dashboard, or is it like in general very easy to configure even if you don't have a dashboard? How this is looking in practical?
It very depends on if you are doing semi-autonomous or autonomous, okay? We are not creating any dashboard. The language of agents are MD. It's markdown file, right? So in a markdown file, we are explaining everything. We are explaining everything. We can explain everything to the operator, which is the main orchestrator, and it goes and it gives the order based on the description that I've given to it. Okay. Or in each and different agent. So for instance, on this guy over here, which I have the analysis, right? I'm giving it different measurements. I'm saying like if a ROI is this much, or if a CR is less than this is bad. So I'm giving it my soul, my head goes into these MD files, and it reacts based on the thing that I'm telling it to do. Okay, so there is no dashboard. Of course, we
With
have
this
like
MD file, how can I imagine? Is it this like a code where you adjust certain values?
it's literally just text.
Okay,
Just
yeah, this is what
just
I meant. So there is not a graphical interface
nope.
that I meant with a dashboard where you have like
Is
settings and says like,
nothing.
hey, okay,
So MD files are just text, and that's it. So you are just explaining everything to the models. And so each and every section, like do this, do this, do this, don't do that, don't do that, do this. Based on these, when a model comes in and starts working, it goes and reads the MD file, and it understands, okay, so this is what I need to do. This is what I have to do, and this is what I can do. So um, it's going to act based on whatever I'm going to say, whatever I'm going to tell it. But again, it also depends on the data that I have and fed to it, which I will come to in one of the next slides. So um, when we have these agents, I call them minions. Have you seen the Minions movie?
of course I have a kid.
Yeah. So I love this movie, and whenever I watch Minions, I always think about the agents. Um, I'm also talking to
You feel like Gru, huh?
yeah, yeah, it is because
Wait, in 10 years your hair falls off and you are like him.
right. So and that's like the fun thing about it, because I was working on an agent yesterday for myself, and I got mad at it, and I was like telling it like, this is not how you should act. This is what I told you, and it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna. You see, so that's what I'm saying. Like there are more minions and like poor AI agents, but um, but yeah. So me as an affiliate and other affiliates out there, in practice, we are able to do things faster and in a bigger and more like less more scalable and more detailed level. So like let's say with the source optimizations, right? Optimizations, we uh, the agents can go so much deeper in the data like subsource, 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 something that we would have just not look at, right? Or when it comes to A/B testing, it can run 50, 100 A/B testings at the same time, right? Creating different creative for us and based on like different metrics that it gets like it sees a campaign that is working good, like one part of the campaign with this browser, with this creative, with this um, with this source is really working good. It can actually like pick up these three, go ahead, create a campaign only with these things. So it can but that's again, that's the autonomous level of it, right? Where we are trusting, like putting the judgment and the trust. If it's a good thing to do, it depends on how much you have been working on it. If it's something that others are doing, yes, it's again come based on how much you have done it. And this
Can
is
you go back to the overview? Because I think all the points are like very interesting. You have
sure.
also, after this, you have the offer scouting.
Yeah.
How you even get these informations from the networks? You have a crawler, or you have to connect per API to every network, or you go more to like public sources like Offer Vault or something like this.
Yes, you can do all of the above. I can create an agent. I have an agent called a researcher, and it goes and research the internet. Just
Mm.
literally, it research internet. So whenever, let's say, one network comes in, like let's say Mobidea as an example, or Afflyfe writes a article about one offer, how to run this offer. It sees it as a hot offer and it picks it up and it informs me that hey, if you go to Afflife and this offer, it seems it's working really good. Or if you're gonna go a bit longer, like a bit deeper, we all used Adplexity, right? So I can technically set up an agent that runs through the offers and look at the pattern. Look at the pattern. That's the important things that we as human often miss. We miss the patterns, right? So the agent can pick up this offer and then it like few days it is going to just look at it and see if he sees a pattern that this offer is a good offer or not, because it can have some analysis and judgment. Then it comes back. I mean, I can connect to APIs, I can do web scrapers, I can connect to different affiliate networks if they have the EPC opens, all these things, and it just makes things so much easier. I remember one guy asked me, like I was one of the first one coming with the integrating API, if you remember, right? And someone asked me, why did you build it? And I said, because I want to be able to use more of my time on the things that are uh, more important. So those 12 hours that I'm using weekly on reading the data, I can use it on things that can make me more money. And that's the whole point of these agentic things, right? Giving you freedom. That freedom can be used on spending the time with your kids. That freedom can be used to going to restaurants, or that freedom can be used to focus on what make your business grow.
We
Your affiliate grow. Yeah.
we have now in the recruitment at the moment also a project for building these agents for matching candidates with
Yeah.
jobs, because the amount of data we have there is not doable manual anymore, and it's also
There you
not
go.
filterable anymore, because you cannot build a filter for every vertical or every traffic source out there. The filtering would be so big that no human would
Yes,
understand anymore what it is.
exactly.
So, and also during concepting that, and it should be started to be built this week. I practically had to hire somebody for that, of course, because it needs programming as well. The people are like looking at this and says like, yeah, make it that easy, but it can get, especially if you build something from scratch, very complex, and you need some assistance there. And what I realized during that, it's not that the AI will take our jobs away. It makes us find candidates and jobs that are matching with each other that we would manual never find because
Exactly.
there is no filter, because they use in the CV a different wording than what we are using. Also
Exactly.
keep in mind that not every recruiter has like already 16 years in the industry as experience. They have not heard about how verticals are named. So we have PPC, and the candidate maybe means really like Google campaigns, but
Yeah.
this person thinks it's pay per call or something like this without the context. And in the end of the day, it's just making us more efficient because we will find jobs and candidates that we would have missed. It will take away a lot of boring work because nobody wants to go
Exactly.
manually through hundreds or even thousands of CVs. And in the end of the day, that makes space for us to be active in the forums, to speak more with
Mm.
candidates in details, to ask for referrals, to get more informations from our clients, to circle back to clients if they have new openings and so on. So the back office will be always in some way there, but a lot of stuff will be taken away that it's boring and that a
Exactly.
human person can never do as good as an AI.
No. And if, I mean, I'm going to give you 3 points. Point number one, exactly what you said with the data. Um, in April, like I would say 3rd of April, I created new agent where it goes and I call it a offer mismatch agent. Offer mismatch agent. And what it did, it just scans it just scans the offers that we have for Afflyfe, right? And the affiliate that we have for Afflyfe. And it found it people like the mismatches and it came out like and all these things in a minute, like less than a minute, right? It found a mismatch. It says this that's the reason for mismatch and this is what you need to give to them. The second we did it after 3 days of like they starting the changing the offer, the conversion rate increased by 711%. 711%. Something that my account manager, my affiliate managers at Half-Life wouldn't be able to look at because they're so busy. And that's exactly what you are saying,
Yeah, also
right?
if the conversion rate is that bad, it
Yeah,
slips.
it
Who is
slips, right?
who is looking at the affiliate that is making one conversion a day?
Exactly, right? And then you would just fix it and then immediately they go from 1 to suddenly to 30, 40, right? And like, oh my God, that was a potential.
Let me guess, you moved these offers to the Masters in Cash offers.
Yes, of course.
The Danish
So
one.
and that's like exactly what you said, that you can use more time with the recruiter, right? A lot of people think that AI is here and then it makes us less human. I really believe that that's actually the opposite because I use my time now to communicate more with Stefan, to communicate with others. Why? Because the AI doing the things that I was doing in 5 hours, in a minute, in 2 minutes. So it gives me more time. And honestly, that's like one of the advantages that we have now in our industry to become more personal.
Yeah, it's the same as you gave the example in the beginning
Yeah.
with the horse and with the car. In the end of the day, it maybe made the guy unemployed that was giving that was the cartage or how this is
Mm.
called. And in the end of the day, everybody could out of the sudden afford to have a car when the people had to walk beside the king
Yeah.
on foot. So it created like additional jobs, and the same it would be like, hey, since 80 years or something like this, or since 100 years, we have music at home. We can
Mm.
have a gramophone, and
Yeah.
it's not that people are not going to concerts anymore or learn how to play an instrument because sometimes the manual stuff is so much nicer that
Yeah.
we just want to have that.
Yeah.
So it's just giving us access to having it easier. Now you can be
Yeah.
in the car. Now since 80 years you can be in the car and listen to music. So
Exactly.
it's not yeah.
It's people call it an evil thing, and the same thing happened. I remember it was an ad in Norway that 50 years ago when they said 50 years ago they made the seat belt for a car. required. And it got so many things in the news, like they are trying to take our freedom away. They are trying to do A, B. I mean, I took actually image of those like news articles, right? But 50 years later, when we are looking back, we say like, how could they call a seatbelt a freedom-taking action? Because that saved lives, right? And that's we are scared of new stuff that comes out, right? Like with the internet, the bubble, and all these things. But if we use it in a correct way, honestly, I've been being able to do much more now, spending more time with my family because things go faster. Things go a lot faster. So, and that's exactly like before when I used time on reading the data. I just looked at the data as a like a one level thing. I would just look at the ROI, right? And then one level down, which is a subsource. But the AI can actually start going more deep to the sources and try to understand for this source, this is good, for this source, this is bad, and try to optimize it in such a way so that we're getting better results. We don't need to be able to you and I were like old timers, so we are used to read data, you know, going level downs and uh, browser versions even. Like I remember I created campaigns with specific browsers, specific browser versions even, right? And it was pretty hard. But now the AI can, in a minute, just read all these things, come with the suggestions to you, and then say, if it's autonomous, boom, it's created itself. Or if it's a semi, it says, should I create a new campaign? Should I do that or not? So, um, and that's why like it makes things so much faster. It makes it so that we can actually scale better. We're able to do so many more A/B testing, um, um, so much more of what actually makes the difference for my business. That's like every morning when I wake up, I wake up at 6:30 every morning, and I eat my breakfast and then I sit and read the data, right? But it's not that I sit and read the data. I have an agent and it prints me a PDF of what has happened, week on week stuff, things that we should actually look at. But I am the person that starts talking to the AI and say like, um, give me more details on this one. How should we move on this one? Why do you say this and that? So I'm not saying that we should let the AI be the judgment unless we have a really good data. We have fed in it so much data as we can. And that's exactly what we are looking for. So earlier in the podcast, I mentioned just because we can, it doesn't mean we should. Okay? Just because we can, it doesn't mean we should. So um, if you are creating the agent based on bad data, messy data that we are giving it to, then we are going to be 100% sure that the data, the output that it's going to give us is going to be wrong as well.
One question, how is it if you are starting out completely fresh, maybe not as an
Yeah,
affiliate, but let's say you were working for somebody and
yeah,
you had access there to data, but you're a good guy, so you were not stealing the data. And now
yeah.
you start with knowledge in affiliation, and maybe you have also 30K saved to spend it on media buying, but you don't have data yourself. Can you already use it? What is the best case to do here?
So what I would have done is that I wouldn't create agents to begin with. I
Mm.
would just start myself just to gain the data because AI, LLM models, when we say AI, it's actually LLM models, large language models, right?
Yeah.
Becomes smarter with the better output that we give it to and the better data we give it to. So me as a new in affiliation with not much data, I should start thinking, okay, I'm going to start my campaigns and in the side, I'm creating the agent, okay? But the agent, it's not a um, it's not an agent that is going to act on my campaigns, but it's just going to learn how I'm doing things. It comes with even suggestions. And just like how we do with a baby, how you do with your kids, you would say, this is good, this is bad. And then you just let it learn. And by saying let it learn, I mean you change the MD file and you just tweak things around. But the more data that you give it, the better it actually learn. Because have you ever chat with ChatGPT in a long chat, like a really long chat?
Yeah, I also trained it to be a bit more understanding about my way of talking and communicating.
Exactly, right? So if you haven't done that, you are able to do that now because you have given it data. Because AI have this tendency to hallucinate. So the
Yeah,
more
yeah.
you talk to
We
it,
have our experience with that as well. So,
yeah,
for example, with the recruitment, if we get like jobs, or if we get candidates with jobs, not so much because there we can ask easier. But sometimes we get CVs that are like written in a way that we are not understanding it, not because we are idiots, but
yeah,
because the CV is just not containing all the information. So, as an
exactly.
example, somebody applies and they are writing their company, but they are not specifying what this company is doing. And we all know in
Yes.
affiliation, especially when it's advertisers, that are like a little bit in the gray zone. When you go to the website, it says something like, "We are creating web products that are like innovative or so." And
Yeah,
so it says nothing. And the AI is inventing practically that this person is doing certain verticals.
yeah.
So we had that often that you look at like somebody that was uploaded from your colleague, and you see like this person was doing this, and I know the company, for example, and I know they do something completely different. And I said like, how is this possible? Is it like, yeah, we didn't found the information about it, so we uploaded, and they were spitting us out. They are doing this in this verticals,
Yeah.
and it's wrong. It's wrong. And of course, we had to learn how to work with this. Every tool without a proper understanding and without a proper training is not making any sense.
No, it doesn't. I mean, and that's exactly for that reason that we shouldn't just put all the judgment just right away on the agents. We actually should start as a semi-autonomous. Like I would start with just a side guy, like someone that try to learn at the same time. Like I give it an input and it says, I would do this. Then I would say, okay, you're good at this one or you're bad at this one. Let me make that better, right? Then we need to so the agent that I create for my affiliate stuff is that and for Afflyfe is I don't start with fully autonomous. I don't even start with semi-autonomous. I just start with, hey, if I give you this data, what output would you give to me? And it would say this. And I said, okay. I changed the MD file and I said, you should answer like this. If I give you such a data, you should filter data like this. Like for Half-Life, I remove the dashboard because it doesn't dashboard. It's faster with AI. I remove the dashboard. So then the more we talk to it, the more we start validating things and invalidating things, and it becomes more and more smarter. But at the end of the day, even for the autonomous ones, I have a kill switch, which means that I can stop things at any time and moment. Like I need to be in power. You have to be in a power. If things go wrong, if you see something, just stop it immediately, go and analyze it, see what happens, then you can start it, but don't start it again as
Yeah, that
autonomous.
that was now also like some posts that I saw from friends, where people were giving like not only the read but also the write API. What you need,
Yeah,
of course, is you if you run full autonomy,
yeah,
and then it was doing a lot of crazy stuff like erasing things
oh yeah,
and and so on. And it can
Yeah,
destroy a company,
it
or
does. I
it can
mean,
throw you back by 2 years.
it does.
So what I will most probably do with our AI matching of jobs and candidates, I will not allow it to write it in our CRM.
Yeah.
I think I will just prefer to get, as you get the PDF with your reports every morning for your breakfast, to get the summaries sent per mail
Exactly.
or per
Slack
Telegram.
or yes,
Yeah,
Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to treat it as your employee, like someone that you just hired, someone that you just hired. You don't give them the key to the office. You don't tell them, here is the book of everything. Go ahead and do everything. No, you control
You
things.
had this book next to you now, waiting for
Yeah.
1 hour in the
I was
podcast to show
like,
it.
I was like,
It looks
the
actually
bullet.
like a passport from the color.
Yeah, right. So you don't let the human act like that, then you wouldn't with the agent as well, right? So you should go step by step, make it smarter, change it, tweak it, and then by time goes, then you make it semi-autonomous and then an autonomous. I mean, did you know that even the like OpenAI, all these AI companies, they themselves use a company to flag things, which means that whenever they have a new source, when they are researching things, they get an output from the LLM. They send this to a company that is just humans, and they say this is correct, this is not correct, this is correct, this is not correct, and then it starts learning and learning and learning. So if they do it themselves, why would you put all your trust, all your money on 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 AI? And that's why I mean, exact what you said, right? Over trusting too fast, right? You just say, oh my God, this is so easy. I can just give it to an AI. I can just create an agent and then go. No, no, you have to go slowly. Don't put your trust on on an AI on an AI agent just because we can, right? We should, as you mentioned yourself, start getting reports as this is your employee that you just hire, then teach it. Say yes or no, validate and invalidate. And that's like the very important part that a lot of people forget. They get a report, they say, this is not good. Or they get a report, oh, this is good. No, go back to your LLM, go back to your model, go back to your agent, and say why it was good and why it was bad. And then ask it to change your MD file. Say, I need you to, based on an understanding that you just got, give to me what did you understand from what I told you. And it's going to give you the lines, right? You again need to analyze them and say, okay, so these parts, okay, all good, or remove these parts. Then you say, take this part, put it into your MD file. Then next time it knows what's good or what's bad. So you have to continuously update your MD files, continuously giving it fresh data, continuously telling it what's valid and what's not valid. That's how you make a agent and or a swarm of agents so smart as it can get. Why? Because they started from here and you just built them one by one, right? So then with all these beautiful stuff that we have thought about and talked about, what is the goal from here on, right? Should I say, do I mean to like today start connecting your create agent and connect it to your Exoclick, connect it to your campaigns? No, no. Start with something that you do all every day, the repetitive stuff that you do, right? So like me every day, the first thing that I did was to read certain data on Afflyfe, right? I created an agent that gave me that output. Then I start, mapping how like the how good was it? How um, with the feedback in and out. And I started monitoring it instead of telling it to exactly what to do, right? Then, as you can see here, as you spoke, I got the reports on Telegram, on Slack, and WhatsApp, and over time, I by the signal that I sent to it, I would just start trusting it more and more and more because um, the our goal is not to make everything autonomous and make everything automated, right? We need to make the right thing on the right step and the right process um, automatic so that we can be more efficient to be able to provide more value for what we do. So if I have one like if people ask me what to do from a techie marketing guy that is a nerd and a geek, just because you can, it doesn't mean you should. Understand everything and go slowly. Go really slow and just start with repetitive stuff and just make yourself and the model and the agent smarter over time.
That's it. That's your final words.
Yes, for the agent. And then of course, if I'm pitching myself, I mean, if yes, I mean, I'm the CEO of Afflyfe. We have offers, dating stuff, but and if you need help, I mean, as you always know, I mean, I love to like if you have any questions, just ask me or Stefan. We would love to. Share some opinion because I remember one thing Stefan told in the beginning, and really that thing have set in my mind, my head.
You
In
mean
one
like
of
2 years ago or so when we
Yeah,
met?
yeah. You said we in one of the event you said we should never talk bad about uh, a competitor, another network, because at the end of the day we are not competitors, we are friends.
Yeah,
So we're
that's
just
important.
helping.
In
Yeah,
Germany, we say you don't have to blow out the other candle to make you shine brighter, and that it's true. You have to convince the people with what you do good, and not with what the
exactly.
others are doing bad.
Exactly. So we are at the end of the day, when you and I spoke about this podcast, I said my goal is to inform my fellow affiliates that how we can actually scale, how we can get better at what we do to gain the freedom, you know.
What you will be is the future of affiliate marketing in general. How you think it will look like in maybe 5 years?
I would say that we are going to change from quantity to quality because of the tools that we are getting. For Half-Life, I built something that literally just analyzes user agent with the hardware to understand what is the risk of this user. So when we are able to do this, then we are showing outside, we are showing affiliates that if you send bad quality, we are going to stop you. That's number one thing. So I really believe that it's going to be more about quality rather than quantity, just sending and then just hoping something would happen, right? The second thing, it becomes that we are going to move faster. We are creating new verticals, new landing pages, new products, and the products that we have are going to be a lot smarter because we are able to um, like with the instead of having a chat bot that is so stupid, just a JavaScript chat bot, it now actually can talk like a human, literally. Or or the products that we have, you're able to uh, come up with new angles of the product so much faster because like something that I built before as a programmer that took me 1 week, Stefan now takes me a few hours. So which means that I can move faster.
It's again like what you said with the horse and with the
Yeah.
car. You
Yeah.
needed like a week to go from I don't know 100 kilometers if maybe you had to walk, and
Yeah.
now you go in 1 hour.
I go so fast, like, and that's the beauty of it. That's like this. It's so much. It has allowed me to focus more on the business side rather than the programming and nitty-gritty.
Would you be able to maybe give a roughly number? It's not something that we prepared, but that you say like since you implemented all these agents, it increased your business by factor so and so.
I would say it easily, like, the difference was it was huge. It was really huge, and like we are just beating records.
So you would say it was more than doubling that you would
Oh
say,
yeah,
and that is something that you would really put to the integration of all this
of
automatization, and not
course.
that you say like, "Hey, I'm such a good sales guy, and they are
No,
bringing now better deals."
no,
Or something.
because I mean, um, me myself, right? I use tools because you earlier asked me, um, do you use tools or do you just build everything yourself, right? Just because I can build everything. I have years and years on my shoulder with programming, right? But I also use tools because it makes me move faster. It makes me move so much faster because um, a programmer building something and you, a non-programmer building something, we are going to think about it in a whole different level, like infrastructure, how things are going to work, how things are going to talk to each other, and things like that, right? So that's why use the tools that are out there to make you move faster. I remember I worked in a company like when I was in my 20s, right? And that company went down. Like they closed everything. They went bankrupt. And I remember I was talking to the CEO of that company when things were like doing bad. And I was like, you know that that thing that we are trying to build, it already exists. So you can just go and just use the service. Let us move. Let us move to the next. No, I want to build it ourselves, right? So if you see a tool out there that makes you start today,
Use it.
just use it because the time that you are going to use for testing, for building, for failing, for understanding, it's really, really costly. It's going to cost you time, it's going to cost you money, and it's going to cost you so much stress. Rather than just using a tool that is already like out there and it already works and you can actually trust because others are using it.
Yeah.
Why would you build everything? I mean,
I
me as a
I I
programmer, I don't.
I wanted to use an external tool that is already existing for the AI matching, but there is nothing existing right
Yeah.
now on the market that can do what we need. People were promising to us, but the problem is that all the AI matching in recruitment currently, if you
Yeah.
are not speaking about really enterprise solutions that are costing you 50, 60K per year, because there it's doable already, it works only with keywords, and
Yeah.
it works, and that's useless because that's practically what we do with the filtering, or it's working really schematic, so this means it is
Mm.
really like a system behind it, but because the data is so expensive to match all, it's working only after you give a short list.
Yeah.
So that is the big problem. So I found the tool, and I would be even able to use the tool for free if I provide like feedback to them about the tool. So it
Yeah.
was very tempting. But I have to filter for everybody for every job or for every candidate, I have to narrow it down to five candidates. And when
Yeah.
I already know the five candidates that are matching, then I can stick to my own system and upload it manual, or just have like a very simple API connection or something like
Exactly.
this. But to have it global, I need to develop it myself, and this is now
Yeah.
what
No,
what
I
we.
mean some things you need to build. Some, I mean, I understand that, but and also I wanna also mention that Um, with the way we are moving, we shouldn't chip out. You know what I mean? Like, um,
Not to
so
look for to be on the money to be cheap.
yeah, I was talking to another guy that also create agents and for their company and they're Norwegian as well. And I see like they just met some issue all the time. Like they having the same issue all the time. And me and him we were talking and I was looking at the data. And I was like, this is not the infrastructure error. This is a model error. And I said, yeah, I know. And I said, so why don't you use a better model? And then he said, oh, because it costs us more money. And I said, how long have you been using on fixing the thing? No, we have been using for 2 weeks. And I said, and how much have it cost you with employees, time, and everything? Oh, it's so much. And I said, wouldn't it be cheaper to just change the model? Right. So with that, I mean, the mindset, right, is important to not think about something about, oh my God, it cost us so much. Just think about the value it's going to bring, you know? The value is the most important one. So don't think about the cost and, oh, it's going to cost me so much. I have a friend, he paid $35,000 to go to a mastermind, $35,000 to go to a 1 day mastermind, right? And like majority of the guys around us like judged him, right? And then he said, you guys don't have the understanding of what this means. I paid 35,000, but in the next year, in the next 2 years, they plan the things for me so that I'm gonna earn 2 million. So if we see a tool out there, we shouldn't just think about, oh my God, it costs us so much monthly money. You know, use a tool, of course, if it does exactly what you need to do. You know what I mean? If it does what you need to do, and I've really seen it. Like as a programmer, I've seen like everything. I've built so many things, and I've seen it. Like whenever I chip out, like again with the models, because we are talking about agents. So when you are building agents, make sure to not just go with cheap models just because they are cheaper. Go with models that are smarter for different things. So like I have a model that reads the data, right? That reads the daily data. That one I pay like that's the most expensive model that is out there. It's a Claude Opus, like the latest model, right? But then I have another model that just scans scrape pages, right? Scrape pages to tell me what to do, right? For that one, I'm not using the best model. I'm using a cheaper model. So use the model based on the things that you need to do.
That is also what we will do.
Yeah.
The project manager I have, he is practically using like two layers. So
Yes.
once the job or the candidate comes in, there's like a very simple thing that says like, is there even something that is matching together? So for
Exactly.
example, if the job says like needs to be based in Barcelona, the tool is the most basic one can say like, okay, this guy is in Barcelona or not. And
Hmm.
in this way, just the stuff that is like sophisticated is getting into the mother brain, let's call
Yes.
it like this.
Yeah.
And there is then like one thing that is really analyzing it in details. Okay, what are the requirements for this SEO person to know this, what language,
Hmm.
what programming languages they need to know. They know this languages, it's similar to this, so they can adjust something like this. So yeah, that is something that we learned as well. So Edge, what shall I say? I think there was never a podcast where I was speaking that little than here, but that's good. That means that you had interesting stuff, and I learned something. And
I'm glad. I'm glad.
as I have this project now, it was for me double interesting. And as we have
Yes.
also cat stats, that is a tool that you can already get, so you don't have to
Yes.
build it, and it's
Don't
also
build.
fair priced. So
Yeah.
our presenting sponsor, you prepared it practically very nice to make the name dropping. So
Yeah.
Edge, I will put your details downstairs.
Thank you so much.
We have like regular contact now since around 2 years. You were
Yeah.
having your first panel in the flirt and chat panel, how we call it now, in TES. So you are definitely a very good guest to have here and on any
Oh,
panel.
I
So
appreciate it.
thank you for the
You're
openness and
awesome.
see you very soon. Peace out.
Thank you. Peace out.
Ciao.
Peace out. Ciao.